All right, let's go out to Michigan and talk to Michael. What's up, Michael?
Hey, Dr. John, thank you for taking my call and for your time.
Of course, man. Thanks for calling it in. What's up, man? How can I help?
So, how do I deal with my insecurities about my wife making 3 times the amount of money I do and also having a clear career vision when I don't?
What are you insecure about?
I guess it's more so like I just feel like a leech.
It's your wife. Like, I'm just sitting here thinking, I would love it if my wife made 3 times what I make. That'd be incredible. So I'm struggling with that. It tells me there's something beneath the money question. You feel like a leech. Does she make you feel that way?
No, not at all. And we're pretty recently newlyweds, so we're trying to figure that all out and everything. But
so you're bringing some ego into this,
which is funny because I don't think I have an ego because I can't stand myself. But
well, why can't you stand yourself?
Oh, that's for a whole nother call.
Nope, that's this call. Why can't you stand yourself?
I can't stand how indecisive I am about dang near everything in my life. And I don't know, when I just kind of look at myself, I'm just not happy with what I see.
What in the world does your wife find value in?
Well, she really loves the fact that, I love my family and that I'm family oriented.
Bull crap on a stick. You know what she loves?
What?
You. You. Dude, when she said I do, she told God and you and your families and your friends, ride or die till death, till one of us dies, I'm in. And you immediately thought to yourself, I'm a burden.
Mm-hmm.
Does your wife make a habit of lying, of being dishonest?
No.
Okay, then why do you think she's lying now?
I don't know.
Here's the thing. It's all wound up together, and here's why. There's always the occasional baseball player who is on deck, and the guy up at bat hits the game-winning hit. And everybody goes crazy, and the crowd cheers, and everybody's jumping up and down, and he kind of feels like, I wanted to get the game-winning hit. Right? That guy kind of sucks. You know why? Because they won. The team won.
Yeah.
And you're that guy, huh?
I am. And it's funny because I preach to people that I've coached all the time not to be.
Well, yeah, dude. We preach about. I think I wrote a book about anxiety because that's what I struggle with so bad. Hey, who told you that you're not worth even being married to?
A lot of people.
Name them.
Stupid high school classmates that would call me a school shooter just because I didn't talk much.
Okay. Who else?
Yes, every girl that I had relationships with that for one reason or another didn't care for me and decided to leave.
Okay. Who else?
I mean, those are the two big ones that I can think of.
They can't be because you're not going to let a bunch of moronic high school kids speak into your marriage. You're not going to let old girlfriends speak into your marriage. What about mom and dad?
They're good. Mom was Mom's interesting, but she loves me, and my dad is, I would say, my best friend.
Have you ever asked your dad, "Hey, Dad, do you love me?"
Maybe a couple of times when I was younger.
I want you to call him and ask him that today.
Okay.
And I want you to ask him, "Hey, Dad, are you proud of me?" What would he say if you asked that?
I think he would say, "Yes, I'm very proud of you."
Okay. So it seems like your dad loves you. And God, he's proud of you. And your wife's all in. So what is this ego, this facade, this big scary painting you painted over the entryway that is your soul? What is that protecting you from? High school kids? Old girlfriends?
No.
What's it protecting you from?
I don't know.
It sounds like it's protecting you from feeling like you're not enough.
Yeah, I would say that's accurate. I just don't really know how to put that into words.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I'm currently working in academia.
Well, God, that's why you hate your life. Just kidding. That's what I did forever.
Look who's talking.
Hey, I got out, homie. I'm a YouTuber now.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, what do you do in academia? Are you a professor? Are you an administrator? What do you do?
So I'm like an academic advisor for student athletes.
Okay. So you're surrounded by smart people. You're surrounded by tons of performers. You're surrounded by unimaginable amounts of ego. And you make $32,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And everybody asks you on a daily basis, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to get your master's? Why haven't you got your master's yet? When are you going to get your PhD? Why don't you? And you begin to go, I don't even know if I like it here. What?
Yeah.
And then this one kid comes in who can jump over your head standing still and do a backflip and dunk a basketball, and he won't even go to math class. And you're like, bro, the God of the universe handed you a Willy Wonka ticket, and you won't even cash it in. He's like, I ain't going to class. Right?
Right. Yeah.
Dude, I spent some time with academic advisors. I know. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. They don't get a vote. The high school kids don't get a vote. I'm going to say something crazy. Your old man doesn't get a vote. Your wife does.
Yeah.
A couple of close personal friends. And I want you to begin to, it's going to sound so cheesy, dude. Just trust me on this. When you start to feel less than or pissed off or angry or I don't even know what I'm doing, or when someone's like, "Why you're not getting a master's?" And you're like, "No, because I have 14 other academic advisors I work with who all have masters and $48,000 in student loan debt, and they all make $35,000 a year."
Well, I'm one of those stupid people. I got a master's and a degree I didn't want.
Even better. I have it. Listen, in the last month, how many people have asked you about your PhD? 10? 5?
5.
Exactly. Listen, that's insanity.
Yeah.
And I want you to do something for me. Not for me. Forget that. Do it for you. I want you to make a fist with your hand and just gently rest it on your chest and think out loud. They don't get a vote. They don't get a vote. And then you have to ask yourself the terrifying question of, what do I actually want to do? What kind of world do I want to build? What life do me and my wife want to have? What do we want it to feel like when I get home, when she gets home? Hey, honey, how can I best freaking love you today? What do we want to build together? Because here's what you're doing. You're competing with her. Because competition is the only way you know how to survive. Because you had a pretty lonely run of it growing up, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so all you know how to do to stay afloat is to look to your right and to look to your left and make sure everybody's heads are bobbing about the same. And then you married an amazing woman who loves you, and you look over and you're looking like at her belt line because she's so much, she's out of the water more than you financially. But I bet you bring some joy to her life that she doesn't have otherwise.
I hope so.
I know so. She wouldn't have married you, ding dong. She's too smart. She makes a lot of money.
Yeah. Well,
right?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
you're right. Yeah.
So what do you want to do? What do you like about academic advising?
I do like when I kind of see that light bulb go off in a kid's eye. It's the same way when I was coaching basketball, where I finally see, the fruits of the labor of what I'm teaching start to show itself.
Why don't you coach basketball anymore?
I had a job last year where I was, and it didn't pay quite enough, so I left.
Okay.
But that's a job that I really do love.
What level were you coaching at?
I was at high school varsity, and then before that I was at small Division III.
Okay. And it just couldn't cover the bills?
No, yeah.
Okay. My first job out of college was a high school basketball coach. You know that?
I did not know that.
I did that for 2 years. It's one of my favorite jobs I've ever had.
Yep.
I love the camaraderie with my fellow coaches. I was the youngest guy by 10 or 15 years. They treated me like a son/brother, and I loved them.
Mm-hmm.
And I love my athletes and my teammates, and I love the guys, the men, Troy Kite and Mike Gibson and those guys, and Coach Perkins, who helped raise me, right?
Yeah.
Like my first job. And then they handed us a sheet of paper that says, in 41 years, here's how much money you're going to make. And I said, I'm out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't do it.
Nope.
And I went to grad school and got a degree that I did not use. I'm not using now. Right? But here's the light that never went out. I love sitting with people who are hurting. I love seeing people take that next right step.
Yeah.
And I've been a high school teacher. I've been a university administrator. I've been a dean of students. I've been a professor. And now I don't even know what to call what I do now. Here's the thing. The job has been the same. And when I went backwards, I worked at Burger King for many years. And I loved it when people came in a little bit dead-eyed, a little bit exhausted, and I was able to say, dude, how are you? And they would light up just for the human interaction. Here's why I'm telling you this. There's a whole bunch of jobs you can go do that will light up other people.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
No, that's absolutely fair.
And if you're a guy who loves coaching, almost every business on planet Earth needs you in their building right now. Almost everybody. Yeah. Because people don't know how to work together for a common goal. People don't know how to say, hey, are you okay? People don't know how to understand, hey, if they're not okay nutritionally and they're not okay at their home, they're not going to be okay at work. We need leaders who know how to do that. That's you, brother.
Thank you.
You could go get a job at Dillard's. You could go get a job as a mid-manager at a fill in the blank. You could take the next 3 years, and this is what I did, working at a university, getting tuition reimbursement, and got another degree in mental health counseling. And the school paid for it. You could go do anything, man. You know why? Because you're a coach and you love people.
Yeah.
But here's what I want you to do with your wife.
Okay.
I'm going to call her Susie, okay?
Okay.
Hope that's not her name. If you're like, dude, how did you know? That'd be awesome. I want you to, how long have you been married?
Officially 2 weeks.
How are you unofficially married? All right, so 2 weeks.
Well, it's a long story.
All right, yeah. It's a long story and a short show. So here's the deal. I want you to take her out.
Okay.
And I want you to, preferably for breakfast or for lunch. And here's why. When you take people out for dinner, the lights get low, people get kind of tired, you have a glass of wine. When you take someone out for breakfast, it's sunny outside. And there's just an optimism and a light to the conversation. It can't happen at your house. You have to go somewhere, okay? And I want you to reach across the table and hold their hands and say, you may not know this, but I've been competing with you for who brings the most into this marriage, and I'm sorry. I've never had a ride or die partner until you, and I'm going to practice being a great partner back. But I don't know how, and so I'm going to have to practice. I want you to say those words. And she's going to go, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? And be like, well, you make way more than me. And she's going to say, I promise, I don't care. Is that what she's going to say?
Yep.
Yeah. And you go, I know, but I do right now. And I know it's silly because I know all the money goes in our same checking account and we're both on the same team. But I want to feel like I'm contributing too. And then I want you all to have a discussion about the home you want to build. Not the house, not the architecture, but we want our house to feel like this. And maybe we want to have kids someday. And that gives us 3 years for me to go get another degree or get some more training or go get another job outside of the academy, which is just chaos right now, or whatever it is. But I want you to invite your wife into, probably the first time in your life, I want you to invite her into, I feel like I'm competing with you. I feel like I'm not enough. And let her speak into it. And then say, it's hard for me to believe, but I'm going to practice trusting you. And when you see me feeling less than, will you just grab my hand and hold my hand? When I feel less than, I'm going to be honest with you. Whew. Then I'm going to get my butt out there. I want you to hang on the line. I'm going to get my butt out there and start finding a job that actually aligns with who I want to become. By the way, academic advising, amazing. You got to have that job. Kids come in from all over the world. They don't know up from down or how to navigate the insanely stupid higher ed system. You got to have academic advisors. I want you to hang on the line. I'm going to send you the Get Clear assessment from my friend Ken Coleman. It's an assessment you work through that will guide you into jobs that you may not have ever thought about, that take into the things that you are wired to do, that will give you purpose, and you can make a whole bunch of money. Make a whole bunch of money. I'm grateful for you, brother. Whenever you start to doubt your wife, I want you to ask yourself quietly, has she ever lied to me before? No, she's probably not lying now. It's probably my body trying to keep me safe. And for the first time in my life, I'm safe now. And when somebody asks you, what about that PhD? Man, if you keep working in 4 years, you're going to be a senior assistant director and with the potential track to go to an associate. I want you to put your hand in your chest and just go, they don't get a vote. They don't get a vote. They don't get a vote. And if in 5 years you're still at the university, great, good. If that's where you want to be, awesome. I spent almost 20 years there. I loved it. But it may not be for you. And that's all right. When anyone asks you the question, what are you worth? The answer is never a number. The answer is, who do I love and who loves me? And you, my brother, are well loved.